In this edition of Detroit Sports Monthly, we have an action-packed show that takes you from the Diamond, the Red Wings rookie camp, and from every place Detroit sports takes in. Hi, I'm Roy Akers.
I'm Jason Ross Jr.
And we are going to go ahead and take you, Jason. You were at the Detroit Red Wing rookie camp all week. Break down what happened.
The Red Wings draft mentality unexpectedly changed on the fly last week when somehow at number 6, Filip Zadina was still available after being passed up by Montreal, Ottawa, and Arizona. The lethal winger with lethal scoring ability. He prides himself on his skating ability. He has a nose for the net, and he likes to shoot the puck. He put up 44 goals in 57 games with Halifax last year, lit it up on that stage, lit it up on the World Junior stage. Red Wings Director of Amateur Scouting Tyler Wright, like most, said that Zadina at 6th for us was a little bit of a shock. We need to score goals. We need offensive players. Our power play has got to get better. He's a guy that has the ability to win games because he's got that offensive ability. He finds a way to score in different ways. He's a guy who models his game after Nikita Kucherov, not a bad role model to have there. And you look around the NHL last season, you saw Alex DeBrincat's goal scoring in Chicago translate over to the NHL level at a young age. Now we'll probably find out more about how close Zadina is to the NHL level once training camp rolls around, but he certainly has the confidence, as we have kind of latched on to one of the more memorable quotes, if not the most memorable quote from draft night, when he said that, "I was telling my agent, if they pass on me, I will fill their net with the puck." For DetroitSportsMedia.com, I'm Jason Ross Jr.
Thank you, Jason. When we return, we take you to the baseball diamond at Comerica Park and the Negro Leagues luncheon and to Utica, where great pitching arms are getting players signed to big league farm systems.
Hi, this is Thad Zott with DealsInTheD.com. Hey, 99.5 Morning Crew, what do you love about the D?
Free tickets!
Ram trucks and country music. Hey, Jeff, we know what you love about the D.
That's right, the deal, baby! During our Drive and Discover event, you can lease this new Jeep Cherokee 4x4 for just $149 per month.
DealsInTheD.com.
Get there!
Hi, my name is Stuart Green.
Ashley Branch.
And my name is Cole Butler.
Hi, my name is Amanda Hoffman,
And I play softball.
And I play basketball.
I play soccer,
Basketball and football at Petoskey High School.
Point City High School.
Play soccer at Elk Rapids High School. Grayling High School.
at Harbor Springs High School.
Thank you for tuning in and watching a Michigan High School Athletic Association contest.
We hope to see you back online soon watching more of our great sportsmanship.
Athletes and extracurricular excellence.
And extracurricular excellence.
We are MHSAA.
Every year, one of the highlights of the Detroit Tigers season is the celebration of the legacy of the Negro Leagues. A recent Tigers hero was the recipient of this year's Willie Horton Legacy Award, and we have the story.
The Negro Leagues Legacy Luncheon, held at Comerica Park, is a kickoff to honoring baseball's bridge from the past to its future in all of honor of former Tiger great Torrey Hunter. Hunter's playing time in Detroit was only 2 seasons, but his impact was great, and he was honored with the 2018 Willie Horton African American Legacy Award.
And these guys were very talented, the Negro League players were, and these guys kind of paved the way. If you talk about, Jake Wood, who was the first African American to play for the Tigers 12 years after Willie Horton, that's what I heard. After Jackie Robinson. And you talk about Jackie Robinson, all the sacrifices he's made, some of the things that he's been through, the death threats, but he withstood all that. And to this day, it's changed, not just African Americans, changed, white America as well.
With the big turnout on hand and homage paid to great African American Tigers baseball alumni of the past and present, our own Trevor Thompson emceed the event that honors those who proudly serve the Old English D. Hunter follows many memorable Tiger players, including Jake Wood, who said Jackie Robinson's courage gave him the hopes of playing for a big league team.
I cannot imagine what Jackie Robinson had gone through to, open the doors for guys like myself, Willie Horton, Torrey Hunter, and all that came after him. So, it's important for, young African Americans and Americans, period, to understand, what Jackie Robinson went through to open the doors for us to play this game, and what it meant to me and what it still means to me. Because like Torrey said, baseball is what? Life experiences.
One of the greatest players in the annals of the Negro Leagues, Turkey Stearns, has passed, but the stories he shared with his 2 daughters give you a glimpse of the legacy passed down.
One of the ones that I liked hearing was he said that in order to be on their team, you had to bat 400 and play 2 different positions.
Yeah, actually, my dad talked about the longest home run he hit. I think it was 500 feet. Actually, my dad didn't talk a lot about his own story. I drove a Good Humor truck in Royal Oak, and I stopped to sell ice cream to 2 gentlemen, and they were talking about this home run that had gone 500 feet. And then they said it was hit by Turkey Stearns. And I said, that's my dad. And they didn't believe me, so I had to take my driver's license out and show it to them. And after that, they kept me there for about 30 minutes telling me what a great ball player he was.
Hunter knows that breaking the color barrier, as it was known for a long time, was only part of the legacy Jackie left, and the courage of Branch Rickey was huge.
It takes a strong man or woman to suppress their anger, you know, and keep doing and focusing on the task at hand. And Branch Rickey was constantly reminding Jackie Robinson of that. And sometimes you got to, you know, if you think about it, you got to thank Branch Rickey for even giving him a shot and opportunity. And but you know, for a guy that was going through with Jackie Robinson, I got to commend him for some of the things that he went through, and he withstood. You know, he was honorably discharged out of the military. So you would think that, you know, something would happen like that in pro ball, but he learned from it and withstood a lot of things that came his way in Major League Baseball. And so yeah, I mean, Jackie Robinson was strong, and Branch Rickey might have been stronger.
The Negro League festivities held at Comerica Park is one of the biggest weekends for the Tigers each year, and Hunter was honored not only for his exploits on the field, but for the character and influence he has on everyone who meets him. For Detroit Sports Media, this is Roy J. Akers reporting.
In Utica at the USPBL, they are celebrating more than 20 players being signed to big league farm system contracts. Our Neil Rule tells us about the method responsible for so many players going so far.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Neil Rule here, the play-by-play voice of the USPBL on ESPN3, also special correspondent today for Detroit Sports Media. We're at Jimmy John's Field, and joining me right now, kind enough to carve out some time today, he is Justin Orndorff, the Director of Player Personnel here at and baseball operations as well here at Jimmy John's Field for the USPBL. Justin, appreciate you carving out some time. But what you guys have going on here right now, something very special. You guys are definitely headed in the right direction here.
I think we are, and it's a great mix of the family, the fun, the Disney-like atmosphere, combined with really good baseball, and baseball that's really engineered to give the guy that just missed a draft, didn't get an opportunity to play in professional baseball, come to the USPBL, develop the skills, refine the skills, and started in 2016, that was our job, and now to date we've had 21 players get the opportunity to now sign a job with a major league organization.
And at the end of the day, when you boil all this down, Justin, it's going to come down to the baseball, because that's what people are here for ultimately, and everybody likes everything that goes all around with it. But the baseball here, as you said, solid. 21 players have signed professional contracts. You're not this kind of guy, but you're a big reason why, and what you guys have been able to do development-wise. Why has it worked?
Well, because what we do, the structure of the league is probably the primary reason, because we only play 3 games a week, and then the other days of the week are reserved for just practice and skill development. So I like to tell very simply, you just don't go and keep taking the test over and over. You got to study, you got to apply the concepts, and then take the test to get a better score, right? So essentially what we do here, we identify the areas where guys got to improve, give them time to improve, and I think one of the biggest things too is, since it's not all about winning and losing, then we don't mind if they fail in games, because we know that they're working on those skills. And so it allows the player the opportunity to do it in the games and make the change.
Justin, as you look down the road, not only for your involvement, but this league as a whole, where do you see the direction headed for everything that's going on here?
Well, I think we'll definitely have another stadium, and we'll have to be able to replicate the baseball and the fun, the family experience in that other stadium, wherever that may be. And so as we grow, so does the process to give more people opportunities to get signed, give more people opportunity to do data work, give those internships, and at the same time, we're helping baseball identify players that just got missed and continue to reward them with developing the skills.
Justin, we appreciate you carving out the time here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Neil Rule for Detroit Sports Media. Well, see you later.
When we return, we take you out to Michigan International Speedway for a pair of stories. One of the great drivers in NASCAR history, Mark Martin, takes us around the track at 120 miles an hour and answers our questions at breathtaking speeds. And Roger Penske makes a very special announcement.
party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Big plays, baby, big plays. That's it. Now we're in. MVP, baby, MVP.
Is that Mike?
Yeah, he lost his wallet or something. He's on his way.
Classic Mike.
Catch all the action at Buffalo Wild Wings.
If you have never seen an interview at speeds greater than 120 miles per hour, you are in luck, as NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin dishes on his career and future Hall of Famer Jack Rush. Our DSM's Roy Akers has the story.
Awesome. So I got a question. Jack Roush is so deserving being in a Hall of Fame. What made he credits your relationship early on that you guys forged with the success that he said you definitely made him successful.
Well, we did together. We did it together. Jack gave me the opportunity, tools, and the resources to achieve, my potential and my dreams. And Jack was a hard-working, determined, dedicated, tough individual. And he was as determined as I was to succeed in the sport.
Now, while you didn't win a NASCAR championship, you finished second a whole bunch of times. Really, your career was absolutely second to none with everything that you accomplished. What is the biggest thing that you take away from all the years that you drove?
I was just so fortunate to have got the opportunity to live my dreams, a chance to work with some of the greatest people in motorsports history. And, I just couldn't be more grateful to Jack Roush and everybody who had anything to do with my success and my career. I look back on it and you could convince me that I was dreaming, that it never really happened. Just really, really lucky to have been able to live my dream.
Now, this was the 50th anniversary of this MIS track. You had a lot of success here. What is one memory that you had of this track that you'd like to share?
I think winning the race in 2009 when we had a really fast car, but we weren't going to make it on fuel, so I had to slow down and let Jimmy Johnson and Greg Biffle run on away out in front of me. And right on the last lap, Jimmy ran out of gas, and then Biffle ran out of gas on the back stretch, and I cruised right by him, saving fuel, and slipped on in there and got the surprise win. It was a really exciting day.
Well, I appreciate that, Mark. This has really been a real dream come true, getting to ride with a NASCAR Hall of Famer and coming back and reliving a couple of memories in one of the iconic tracks on the entire NASCAR circuit.
Roger Penske is also being inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame, but this iconic Detroit legend has an even higher measure, and that is inducting drivers into the Penske Hall of Fame. Take it away, Roger.
Rusty, what can I say about you? You're the one that got me in this business, right? Was it back in '81 when we went to Atlanta with that Caprice? And we almost won, didn't we, our first race, but finished second. But, you've been a great friend. I think you made the difference for us in NASCAR. Your winning, your support, your technical capability, and quite honestly, it's such a great thing to see what you've done. You stepped out of the car. You've been a professional. You're involved in, obviously, the radio side of NASCAR today, but more important, you're a business guy. And I just want to know how much I appreciate what you've done. And more important, you're also a great friend. And to become part of the Team Penske Hall of Fame, hopefully you'll think about that. I'm very honored, too, by the way, to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So we're all in this together this year. How's that?
That's right. I love it, Roger. Well, this is a great award. I didn't expect this was going to happen, and I'm really honored to be in the Penske Hall of Fame, no doubt about that, but more honored to be able to drive for you. I remember a long time ago, you and I talked, and I said, I want to be a Penske driver. And I had some other offers. I said, no, I want to drive for Penske. And we had some rough times. I remember one time we said, he got a little upset with me, and I said, don't spin out on me now. No, Daytona, instead of Daytona, I said, you just calm down, don't spin out on me now. And he did, and we went on to win a pile of races. But to be in the likes of Mark Donahue and Rick Mears and Walter and all the other guys that are in the Penske Hall of Fame, it means a lot. I mean, especially after a guy that's been so successful like you have. And my gosh, I didn't know how much longer you were going to win Indianapolis 500s, but here he is, put me in the Hall of Fame, and he just won the 17th Indianapolis 500. What an accomplishment for Team Penske, but I'm really honored to be a Team Penske member. Thank you very, very, very much.
We're back, Jason, and at the Bayview Yacht Club, located on the Detroit River near Detroit. One of only 3 men to cover every Super Bowl was presented by a lifetime award from our own president, Trevor Thompson. We reviewed this true gentleman and true sports writing legend.
I've known Jerry for quite a while now, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to know him, to watch him work, to read his work, and see his career. As I've seen it here in Detroit over the last 18 years since I've been here, I know Jerry's had a lot of influence over a lot of people, and he's had the opportunity to cover many events, not just Super Bowls, not just the Lions, the Tigers, the Red Wings, and the Pistons, of which he's the only surviving sports writer to have covered championships from all of those teams. But Jerry also participated in the Bayview to Mackinac race twice during his career as well. We're here to present him today with the highest honor that we can present anyone in our organization, and it is the Lifetime Membership Award, and it reads, to Jerry Green, a Lifetime Membership Award on the 6th day of June in the year 2018. This action by the Executive Board is the highest honor that can be bestowed by the DSM. The Detroit Sports Media salutes you for your 5+ decades of excellence in sports communication, writing, broadcasting, and producing, and the professionalism you have demonstrated during your storied Hall of Fame career. Jerry, come up and get your award. It's an honor to present it.
We will have a story from Jerry Green telling us about his first time racing at the Port Huron to Mackinac with Joe Falls. But first, we take you to the docks of Bayview Yacht Club as the men who helped make the race happen will give you a 2018 race preview.
Well, what makes this race special to me is the fact that families can come out and compete against the professionals and play on a level playing field. While the professionals that come in are a good portion of our fleet, we have a lot of families that compete in this race, and this is one of the greenest sports you can find. I mean, we're competing using just the wind and the waves to propel us to Mackinac Island, and it is just, it's sometimes challenging, sometimes fun, sometimes exciting. It's just one of those great events. This is our Super Bowl. This is our mid-season all-star game where the best of the best come out.
And my first race was around 1989, and I've competed in 26. I think I've started in 27, but we had one where we had a technical malfunction. But as race chairman Gary, Dr. Shoemaker said, you know, it's in the middle of the summer. It's July. We go to a destination spot, Mackinac Island. It's not just about the camaraderie, hanging with the guys on the boat and girls, going up to the island. It's about meeting your family, your children, your friends there on Mackinac Island. That makes it such a special involvement for everybody because it brings family, the sport, racing, and all the Michigan commerce together in one spot. And we have a lot of fun doing it.
With me is Larry Bell, title sponsor of the Bell's Port Huron to Mackinac race. Did I get that right?
The Bell's Beer Bayview Mackinac race.
I stand corrected, and I haven't been drinking. What in the world got you started with, sponsoring this, being the title sponsor of this race?
We were the beer sponsor for a couple of years, and title sponsorship became available. And this is just one of the great iconic races, sporting events of the state of Michigan, something that a lot of other states can't pull off because they don't have the lakes we have. So it's got great charity aspect. It celebrates the lakes, and it celebrates the great people in the sport of sailing.
Now, the Port Huron to Mackinac, not only does Michigan have the water, but we have the starting gate and the finish line. And what better place to present the trophy than on Mackinac Island?
Mackinac Island is the crown jewel of the Great Lakes, right? And it's a motivator for the sailors to get up there. And, you know, there's so much camaraderie in this sailing group. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose. When we get to the island, everybody really enjoys getting together. We get the families up there, and everybody has a great time.
Taking a look at it as well, you are not one of those people that throw money at a project. Not that people are throwing money at a project, but you actually participate. Explain how that works.
So with the sponsorship, Bells gets to put one person on one boat, and I sail on this beautiful Santa Cruz 70 right behind us. It's skippered and owned by Lance and Tricia Smotherman, and I'll be there grinding on the pumps there, working hard, and it's a hell of a ride.
Now, as far as people, what is one thing that the average person does not understand about being on crew of a beautiful, I don't know if you call it a boat or a ship. I mean, my gosh. But what do people not understand about this?
It's a lot of hard work, and it's basically 36 hours of intensity. Every second counts. When we're out there, you are focused on what you are doing. We're not out there just for a pleasure cruise. We're out there to win, and every second matters, and you better be focused on what you're doing.
So bottom line is, what's the big thing? When is the race?
The race is July 14th. We sail from Port Huron, and we'll be up on Mackinac Island. Come up and see the boats come in.
Well, Larry, I tell you what, we can hardly wait to do that. Thanks a lot for being the title sponsor and coming on to Detroit Sports Media.
Well, the great thing about sailing is all the crew that comes along with the owner of the boat. Just if you have to own a boat and you're fortunate enough to own a boat, that's great. But every boat takes an amount of people to sail the boat and get it up to Mackinac. And I would say boats range anywhere from 27 feet.
27 feet's our smallest boat.
Up to 86 feet with the DeVos boat. And they need a lot of crew. All these boats need crew. Some need to be seasoned, some are beginners. But sailing is a sport that they're looking for people to participate. They're looking for crew to join. We have a program right here at Bayview Yacht Club called the Hitchhiker Program, where if we're flying a little green flag and anybody sees it, they can come right down to the club and jump on a boat and learn how to sail. And if they love the sport, great, they can come aboard. And it's one of those things, once you get on the water, you have that feeling of the wind, the water, and the sun, and all the friends. It's addictive.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, my name is Stuart Green.
Ashley Branch.
And my name is Cole Butler.
Hi, my name is Amanda Hoffman.
And I play softball.
And I play basketball.
I play soccer.
Basketball and football at Petoskey High School. Wayne City High School.
Play soccer at Elk Rapids High School. Grayling High School.
At Harbor Springs High School.
Thank you for tuning in and watching a Michigan High School Athletic Association contest.
We hope to see you back online soon watching more of our great sportsmanship.
Athletes and extracurricular excellence.
And extracurricular excellence.
We are MHSAA.
Jason, one thing for sure is that the Detroit Pistons are procrastinators. It took them several weeks to find a coach after the 2018 season ended, and then they hired a coach before a GM. What's up with that? Our own Blair Glover breaks down the Dwayne Casey press conference.
I'm Blair Glover for DetroitSportsMedia.com, where just behind me, the Detroit Pistons had a press conference with the new head coach, Dwayne Casey.
What drew me here, Mark, was this guy right here next to me.
his passion, his energy, his vision for this organization, not only for the organization, but for the community. It's so important that the owner has a vision for what he wants beyond basketball, because we preach, and I preach to the players every day about doing more than just basketball, being a good father, being a good brother, being a good cousin, whatever it is. And that's what Tom sees for this organization, for this team. And that convinced me that the passion and the tradition of the Detroit basketball, Detroit Pistons program is in great hands. So I thought that was the most important thing. And just again, the tradition that you have with Detroit Piston basketball, the championships, you just said it, winning is so important. And I'm not blind to that. I understand that. I've been in the game long enough to understand that, how important that is to the fans here. But again, it goes back to Tom Gore. And I'm not just saying that because he's here. I've told everybody I've talked to, the trust that he has with the players. I haven't seen it with any other owner. I've been in the league a long time. The relationship that he has with the players is real. There's nothing about that that's not there. And I talked to every player. I was out with them all last week. And the first thing they talk about is how they want to play, for the Pistons program and also for Tom.
Tom Gores and Dwayne Casey talked about the fact that they don't look at the Pistons as a team of development. Coach Casey is here to win, and he feels that he has the tools to do it.
I expect, our time is now. We have the core group that's one now with Blake, Andre, and Reggie, like I said. And the key is this summer for our young guys, with Stanley, with Luke, with Henry, because they have everything it takes to compete. And somebody said, well, what happened to Toronto in the playoffs? Well, I said it's about matchups. And Stanley Johnson is the best matchup for 23 in Cleveland that there is, physically. And also you have Blake there. So we have two guys that can physically match up with the mental toughness and the physical toughness that it takes to go against a guy like that. And I'm not afraid to say it, we have those two guys. And so the time I'm telling the guys now, we're not developing, we're not 2 or 3 years away, we want to win right now.
That's the future of the Pistons and the upcoming draft.
The draft is coming up, but we really like this team. I mean, whatever player we get, that would be great. But we don't need another one. But we're good. That's why Dwayne's here. We like this team. He likes the young players. Like, Dwayne's great at player development. It's not just, again, like his accolades and all that stuff. Like, he knows how to develop young players to be great players. And he gets them to believe. So we're very comfortable, I think, and Ed, you can speak about the next player we're going to get, and we'll be happy to. But, like, Dwayne's good at developing what we had. Ellenson, what we have. Ellenson is something that we need to really develop. And like Dwayne said, Stanley has huge upside. Huge. We just got to get him there. But so, anyways, that we're comfortable. I don't think Dwayne would have taken this job. This is not for Dwayne and his point in his career. It's not a developmental job. And this is something that he believes in. And Dwayne and I, when we connected at my house in LA, Pat, just so you know, FYI, I wasn't here, but just FYI. So we connected and we discussed Dwayne's journey and where he's come from, and my journey of being from Flint, Michigan, and that anything is possible. And the thing is, we got great players, and we got to get them to believe. And if you don't believe, they'll know that. Right? And the fact is, we do. We have we have a great roster with very special players. And we haven't won. I think we will. But that's the reality, and I think that idea of believing is important, for the players.
With also, Tom, we don't have a first round pick because we gave it for Blake. And I was in the gym in LA with Blake for 2 days, and how he's pretty darn good. He's a big time player, and he's an all-star. And if he stays healthy, there's no question he could be right there. And the way he plays, I'd rather have Blake personally than the 15th pick in the draft or something like that.
I'm Blair Glover for DetroitSportsMedia.com.
When we return, the sport of professional bowling has seen its ups and downs, but for Andrew Anderson of Holly, things are looking up as he's tearing up the new look PBA Tour.
Big plays, baby, big plays. That's it.
Now we're in.
MVP, baby, MVP.
Is that Mike?
Yeah, he lost his wallet or something. He's on his way.
Classic Mike.
Catch all the action at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hi, this is Thad's Out with DealsInTheD.com. Hey, 99.5 Morning Crew, what do you love about the D?
Free tickets!
Ram trucks and country music. Hey, Jeff, we know what you love about the D.
That's right, the deal, baby! During our Drive and Discover event, you can lease this new Jeep Cherokee 4x4 for just $149 per month.
DealsInTheD.com. Get there!
Andrew Anderson of Holly is one of the many young bucks on the Pro Bowlers Tour that are taking over the lanes, and he won the ABC Masters in Syracuse. Roy Akers features Andrew in this exclusive Detroit Sports Media story. Roy, what went down with Andrews?
Oh, I'll tell you, it's an awesome piece. Let's take it away over at Bowlers IQ out in Troy.
Andrew Anderson of Holly recently won the USBC Masters in Syracuse, New York. A great accomplishment for a 22-year-old that counts teaching as his degree, but bowling as his profession.
I've always felt close, but in the last couple of years, confidence is huge on the tour. Like, you can't go into any tournament not expecting to win, not expecting to do well. Going into this season especially, I've had a lot of confidence and a lot of things going my way, per se. So really, it's just a mindset. You know, you go in with a positive mindset and positive things happen.
Anderson is considered by just about everybody on the PBA Tour to have a bright future.
Yeah, Andrew's one of the really good younger guys out on tour now. He's had his, in the middle of a breakout season. He made one of the major championship shows already, and then he won the Masters, which is a huge event. So he's really in a fantastic start of the season, and you know, he won't tell you this, I don't think, but he's already front runner for Player of the Year.
The #1 seed is looking for his first career title from Holly, Michigan, Andrew Anderson.
When you have the bowling skills of Andrew Anderson, you can think about making the PBA Tour a full-time profession.
Now, you talk about that mindset. Was there one thing, or was it a combination of things that said, you know what, I know I'm not only good enough for the PBA Tour, but what gave you that thing where you hopped the fence and said, I know I can win out here?
Why not me? You know, that's what I've been telling myself. My family and I have a lot of pride in each other, and knowing that I have the skills to do it, you kind of just got to tell yourself to do it. You can talk about it and dream about it all you want, but until you actually get an opportunity and seize the opportunity, there's not much you can think about other than that. So for the last couple of years, that's all I've been thinking about is winning on the PBA Tour, and to finally do it is a dream come true. And you know, I'm just going to keep telling myself, why not me?
The PBA Tour was sinking in ratings and fan interest for quite a while, but a new contract with Fox Sports has kind of rejuvenated the bowlers, and Anderson is one of them.
So what I like that the tour is turning into is they're giving us more opportunities. To be successful on the tour, you have to have opportunities, and you have to have opportunities to bowl against the guys you grew up watching to make you want to do it more. And what they're doing so well at right now is giving us opportunities. I have an opportunity to bowl all the majors, all the normal events. It does suck a little bit that there's not more events, but I think PBA is heading in the right direction. We got a new deal with Fox for next year, and it's going to be very exciting.
Anderson's big check won at the USBC Masters will not be his only one. Something tells me that something even bigger is on the horizon. For Detroit Sports Media, this is Roy J.
And next we take you to Grand Rapids, where the LPGA recently held their second Michigan stop this summer. Defending Meyer champ Brooke Henderson talks about her stardom on the tour.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome in defending champion Brooke Henderson to the Meyer LPGA Classic Media Center. Brooke, welcome back.
Thank you.
Last year, you won on Father's Day. Can you take us back to there and your memories from this tournament?
Yeah, you know, it was truly special. I owe so much to my dad and my mom. You know, they've sacrificed so much so that Britt and I can follow our dreams and chase after our goals, which is really, really, really cool. And to have everybody here, my whole family, And to have Dad celebrate with us, was really cool. And, it was just kind of that day. It was meant to happen for me. Things kind of just went my way. And to be able to dedicate it to my dad was, like I said, just really special to me.
I believe that was the first time your whole family had been there for one of your wins. Are they all here this week with you?
Yeah, they're all back. So, I would love to do something very similar to last year for sure. And it's just really a great feeling to have everybody here to support, even when we're far away and it's just Britt and I out on the road, we can always count on my mom and dad to always support us and to be there for us. And just to have them here, it's just that little bit extra great feeling, and, it gives me a little bit more energy to play a little bit better and, hopefully make a few more putts.
Do you feel any extra pressure in a week where you're defending a title?
A little bit. It's really exciting, though. You come back and you have so many great memories. And you just are full of energy the whole week. This is like the best I felt this year, because I'm coming back to somewhere where I know I've played really well in the past. And, I know it's going to be extremely difficult to repeat, and I'm definitely not counting on it. I think it's just one of those things that you got to go out, stick to the game plan that worked so well last year. Remember those great times, remember those great memories, and try to do it again for sure. But there's so many talented players out on the LPGA Tour that if I don't, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm just going to work really hard to hopefully make it happen again.
It's hard to believe, but we're halfway through the 2018 season. You've already got a win this year. How do you measure your season so far?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely been a little bit up and down, more than I would have liked. But to have a win so early, it really takes a lot of pressure off. And it was really a great feeling to win the Lotte in Hawaii earlier this year. And, I've missed a couple cuts, a little bit more than I have the previous years. But, winning early and having top 10 finishes right off the bat, in the Bahamas and again in Thailand and Singapore was really a lot of fun for me. And I feel like my game is in a great spot where, I'm hitting the ball really well. And as soon as I start to make some putts, then that's when I can go low and I can challenge for the lead and get top 10 finishes. So I feel like I'm in a good spot right now.
Also that day, our own Michael Dorr caught up with one of the most recognizable faces at the mothership. Who do you have?
You ever been on camera before? You're not going to get nervous? Right. Let me know when you're ready, Ray.
Ready.
Michael DeRay with Detroit Sports Media, here with analyst extraordinary from ESPN, Mr. Trey Wingo. Trey, welcome to Michigan.
Way to put the pressure on, man. Now you're going to ask me something, I got to make sure I know it.
Well, your encyclopedic knowledge of everything golf, and it's good to see you out here at Egypt Valley. How many years have you been doing this?
This is the third year in a row, and I got to say, the weather has just been perfect. It's about 70 degrees, light breeze. Now, I think the groundskeeper who set the pins was a sadist today. There's no question about that. I mean, he clearly has some personal issues he's working through and taking it out on us. Other than that, everything's great.
So this is your actual second week in Detroit, and you seem to be doing pretty well after you destroyed the pace car last week at the Detroit Grand Prix.
Well, to be fair, that was behind. I was in the two-seater with Ari Leyendijk, and we went out first, and the pace car went out, and apparently they didn't think that we were going to be there because he came hauling around that turn and swerved that thing right into the wall. So we didn't even know it had happened. We're whipping around the track, and we're supposed to go around twice. And then we get ready to go the second time, and they come out and say, hold up, they got to clean up the track. There was an accident behind you. And then I saw the footage, like literally right after we go around the corner, we're in the frame, and he comes whipping around their corner and has to hit the brakes. And luckily, everything's okay.
Had you been in Detroit in a while? Is that your first trip back to Belle Isle in a while?
It has been a long time since I've been out to Belle Isle, but it's a great setup out there, man.
Yeah, what's your impression of Detroit? They've had their struggles through the years.
Yeah. Well, look, it started when they got Ford Field back downtown. That's such a great facility down there. The new Tiger Stadium is great. There's a real energy and a real sense of things turning over in Detroit. No question about it.
Do you think that's going to translate to a playoff victory for your Detroit Lions?
For my Detroit Lions?
Well,
did I own them? This is wonderful. Where do I get the check? More importantly, look, I think they're doing the right things. I think that Bob Quinn hired a guy that he's obviously very comfortable with, and Patricia. They work together in New England. They've got to get a running game, though. I mean, Stafford can be the MVP every year, but they haven't had a 100-yard runner since Reggie Bush in 2014,
correct,
I think, on Thanksgiving Day. So, they got to find a running game.
Well, thanks for taking a few minutes with us. We look forward to seeing you on NFL.
Yeah, hopefully I won't be crashing anything else today.
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Trey Wingo, Michael DeRay, Detroit Sports Media.
Thanks, Michael. Trey is just a natural ham, and so is Mr. Dore. When we return, in the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the 1968 Detroit Tigers, we take you to the hijinks of two of the lesser-known players on their team. We have an incredible story on two Michiganders who will be a part of the 2019 NASCAR Hall of Fame class, and a funny story involving Jerry Green.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hi, this is Thad's Out with DealsInTheD.com. Hey, 99.5 Morning Crew, what do you love about the D?
Free tickets!
Ram trucks and country music. Hey Jeff, we know what you love about the D.
That's right, the deal, baby! During our Drive and Discover event, you can lease this new Jeep Cherokee 4x4 for just $149 per month.
DealsInTheD.com. Get there!
I've been active for as long as I can remember. Staying healthy is everything, not just for me, but for my whole family. Kelly and I run, do yoga to find some balance, and work to eat right. From the moment our twins were born at St. Joe's, we've been focused on keeping them safe and healthy. And as a dad, I'm going to do everything I can to be a positive role model. The journey to better health starts with one step. I'm Detroit Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford. Join me.
It's time to learn more. Visit stjoeshealth.org.
The 1968 Detroit Tigers' John Warden and also Tom Matchik did not have a Hall of Fame careers by any stretch, but they played utility roles and they crack us up in their memories for the Saskatoon Tigers.
With me are alumni of the 1968 Tigers, Tom Matchik and John Warden. Guys, that had to have been a great season in your careers. You're celebrating the 50th anniversary. What does it mean to kind of relive that year?
Well, I was a 21-year-old kid, farm boy out of Harrisburg, Ohio, and for me that was just phenomenal. That's everything I dreamed about is playing in the big leagues, and to be on a team like the 68 Tigers, and of course playoffs in, you win that league and you go to the series, and to be in the World Series the following year after St. Louis, actually St. Louis won the World Series in '67. Boston beat us by one game. But Tommy always told everybody if they'd have brought us up in September, we'd have gone both years. Yeah. But that was a big deal. It's a big deal to me. Tommy, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. If they brought us up earlier in '67, we would have won it in '67 too. But that team was unbelievable. Even when we were down 3-1 in the World Series, if you walked in our clubhouse, you would have thought we were up 3-1. I'd never seen such a looser club than our club. And it's something that not many people get a chance to be. It's in the World Series.
And I understand you guys policed yourselves quite a bit, that year. I heard Willie Horton talk about, he says, sometimes they kick management out. You guys kind of talked amongst yourselves, and you guys kept each other focused.
Yeah, it was a close-knit team. I mean, when we went out after the games on the road, there'd be 8 or 10 of us go out to eat together and talk baseball and have a few cold ones, and just a close-knit club. And that worked out well for, like Matty said, being down 3-1. We won 40 ball games that year. After the 7th inning, we were either tied or behind. And that's because Mayo Smith would pass out by then, and then we'd run the club. So.
Mayo would be over in his corner sleeping.
Really? He'd be sleeping. A Denny question. You're here, jokingly people say, you're Denny's last friends. We know that's not true, but what has Denny McClain been to you over the years?
Well, he stayed in touch, and a lot of times we wouldn't hear from him for 8 years, 4 months, and 23 days. That's when he got out. But, he sort of stepped on his wiener a couple times. Yeah. And, but he was always, you sit down and talk to him, he can talk to you about anything. The guy had his pilot's license, he could bowl a 200 game, he could sit down to a piano organ, play any song you wanted to hear, scratch golfer. The guy was so talented. but he's fun to be around. He's a lot of fun.
Okay.
I'll tell him the gate's back.
Yeah. You know, Denny, I don't know. They wanted me to room with Denny one year. Mail asked me, and I said, hell no, I ain't going to room with a Samsonite bag of luggage because I never saw Denny.
Room with his bag.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I'd room with.
They did a special on HBO.
We got to fix that, Mike.
Brian Gumbel was the commentator, so he had Gates Brown. He said, Gator, tell me what Denny McClain's like. He said, well, you know, Brian, when you shake hands with Denny, when you pull back, you count your fingers. Brian Gumbel about died. He's like, hey, we'll be right back after the commercial.
Arthur, turn your back to him. Make sure you check, see if your wallet's in your
my
back
wallet.
pants.
I always carry my wallet in the front pocket.
But that's Denny. We understood that. We didn't really care. He went out there and gave us 120% every time he took that mound. And you don't win 31 games by not being a hell of a pitcher. Thanks, fellas.
Yeah, man. My pleasure. See you later.
You got it.
Michiganders Jack Roush and Roger Penske were elected to the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2019. In this feature story, all current or future Hall of Famers talk about Roush, Penske, and Jeff Gordon.
When the recent NASCAR Hall of Fame class was selected for 2019, it was no surprise to see Roger Penske, Jeff Gordon, and Jack Roush on the list. They also joined Davey Allison and Alan Kulwicki, who passed tragically in the middle of their careers. Taking a look at things right now, this is an outstanding class. Jack Roush should be the first one to tell you that he didn't get to the Hall all by himself. He's joined by one of the all-time great drivers in his stable, Matt Kenseth, who took home his first driver championship in 2003 with Roush as the owner.
Well, he's a winningest owner in NASCAR, I believe, is the first thing. But I think just everything he's done, from starting that team up in Liberty, North Carolina, and running a truck team out of Michigan, just all the racing he's done his whole career. But certainly what he's done in NASCAR and the impact that he's made here, I think, has been second to none. So glad he's in. I agree. I think he should have been in a lot earlier.
Roush has told me in the past that if it wasn't for Mark Martin and their collaboration that those two had, there probably would be no Hall of Fame for either of them.
Well, it's to be voted in the same year as Roger and Jeff, and of course, Alan and Davey is great. And there's 45 other entries or other Hall of Famers that are in there, and to be counted along with that group is really special.
Well, we did it together. Jack gave me the opportunity, tools, and the resources to achieve my potential and my dreams. And Jack was a hard-working, determined, dedicated, tough individual. And he was as determined as I was to succeed in the sport.
Roger Penske's had a lot of accolades in his career, and they're all well-deserved. But he said going into the Hall of Fame with this group is something very special.
What does it mean to you, though, Roger? I mean, to be recognized like this?
Well, I think that I went to the Hall of Fame to see the NFL Hall of Fame in Canton a number of years ago, to see Les Richter go in. And it was an amazing event and something that I never will forget. And when I woke up this morning, I said, you know something, you're going to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and in our world, that's a pretty special place. And you don't set that as a goal. I think it just happens because a lot of people have to abide on it. But as I said to most of you already, it's not about me at all. I mean, it's all the drivers, all the people that have built this great team that give us the success, because I certainly couldn't do it by myself.
Also joining Roush and Roger Penske in the Hall of Fame is Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon won 4 driver titles in NASCAR before retiring to the Fox Sports booth, and Gordon tells us what it's like as a lifetime honor.
Racing sprint cars and midgets in Indiana and came down to North Carolina hoping and dreaming of something, but I didn't know much about NASCAR racing. Everything was IndyCar, open wheel, sprint car, midget to me. I knew the Daytona 500. I knew who Richard Petty was and Dale Earnhardt, and that was it. So, when you look back at that, this is very, very surreal to me. But then when I look at the last maybe 25, 26 years and what I've put into it, what it's meant to my life, how it's changed my life, I look at that the era through the 90s and on how that has impacted and changed my life and what I gave back, to a sport that gave me so much. I'm just really proud and honored to be a part of this.
I just think he is way more than a driver, and the Hall is supposed to showcase the best that our industry has ever seen, and Jeff is one of a very, very few that have honestly and truly transcended our sport. When you look at his reign on top and how he helped make NASCAR a nationwide, even in some respects a global force, his rivalry with Earnhardt, the things that he did outside of the race car and being in movies and being in music videos and just being in the mainstream marketing, that we all know the stats, but there's that piece as well. Then there's also the owner piece that Jeff has had along the way. So Jeff is far more than a driver and very deserving to be in the Hall of Fame.
The induction in the Hall of Fame for the 3 living members of Gordon, Roush, and Penske will happen at the end of February in 2019, and it'll be well-deserved and a night that they will all remember. For Detroit Sports Media, this is Roy J. Akers reporting. Finally, Jerry Green tells an audience at his Lifetime Member Award from the DSM about a special surprise he had for Joe Falls, who lost to Green in a Port Huron to Mackinac contest and a bet that they had before the race.
Now, as I mentioned, Jerry did participate in this race twice, and he had a pretty funny story that he related to us. I don't know whether he wants to relate it now or not, but he does have a few words, so I'll just pass the mic to Jerry.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the Baby Yacht Club, Rod Kimmel in particular. I rode twice, once in Papillon, it was in the middle 80s, I don't remember the year. Papillon, which served gourmet food, skippered by Mike Thompson, and the next year the Detroit News got the brilliant idea of putting Joe Falls and Jerry Green, the paper's 2 sports columnists, on separate boats to race. And okay, I'm not familiar with this. I'm familiar more with a computer now, I guess. Anyway, the second year was with Andy Kimmel's Revenge, Brad's father's boat, and we had a great old time there. We were put on just to ride and write. I had a bad habit. I stood on my watches because I had come out of the United States Navy, and that was a requirement there. Andy Kimmel had a great sense of humor. Revenge got in on ahead of whatever boat Joe was in, but we gave him a consolation prize. The island, Mackinac Island, has 2 major products. The first one is fudge, and anyway, Andy got a fudge box and filled it with what looked to be fudge, and presented it to Joe Falls as his consolation prize. Joe at the moment was very happy, and then moments later when he tried to eat his fudge, he had a bit of a temper tantrum. Anyway, I want to thank the club, I want to thank the Detroit Sports Media, of which I am a member. This organization is trying to recruit print writers now, and I think it's a great idea that we all bond together. Trevor, thank you very much.
Jerry, thank you, and it's an honor to present like this.
Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Ross Jr.
I'm Roy Akers. Until the August show, happy sports time, everybody.